Bitcoin is gonna blur. Would you like to learn why crypto and Bitcoin is headed for a devastating drop? Why I feel that the current local bottom of Bitcoin is going to look like an extremely high aspirational target in the future, and why I also think that Ethereum is going to come down to marvelous all-in buy prices considering where it is at right now. I'm going to be presenting you with extensive data that conveys why the crypto market is headed for disaster in the mid to long term, and therefore this is the ultimate best place to be able to get 100 to 500 X's even in major assets. I'm also going to be taking your suggestions and looking at cryptos that you suggest to me, and I am going to be looking and analysing them as well. So, if you love the sound of that, make sure you smash a like on this video. My name is the Suppoman, your superhero of cryptocurrency. I find you the 100x gems. I have made amongst the best ever calls in cryptocurrency, which include Solana, Matic, Binance Coin, amongst many others. So, I want to guide you through cryptocurrency using data that will guide you and give you some element to be able to know where prices are going. So, if you love the sound of that, make sure that you hit the notification bell as well so you can join me live. The best experience you will get from following me is from being here with me live. Okay, so I'm also going to be taking you through why it's a good thing that prices are going up right now. It's a fantastic thing. If prices were going down, then everybody would be expecting a relief rally. We're already halfway there. We are having a relief rally. So I'm going to be presenting to you why it's a fantastic thing. I'm also going to be showing you why I think that ADA and Ethereum have got a good battle coming up as far as being the #1 infrastructure. So before I get on with the chat, I'm going to do what I didn't do last time. I'm going to share this immediately to the people of Twitter so that people can join, etc., etc. Okay, there we are. It is done. It's as quick as that. So where we're at today is as follows. So the market cap is healthily over 1 trillion and Bitcoin just cannot be defeated. I cannot be defeated. It's essentially, if it's bad news, it doesn't fall. If it's good news, it doesn't fall. Like, it basically is on an upward. Yes, we were around about 23,500 yesterday and we've come down slightly, but still it's still doing really well. Considering that the dollar has gone up, I'm going to be presenting you with more and more information throughout the course of this stream. But crypto at the moment is looking relatively healthy. Ethereum's looking healthy. 5% increase. 5% increase. So let us start. I'm going to go right into the meat and potatoes. Stuff messing around, okay? Stuff asking for likes, although I would love it if you smash the like button to 200 likes. That would be awesome. And that would tell me that you want me to come and do these streams often. This is my 3rd in a week. Can you believe that? Right, okay. So let's first things first go to Bitcoin, okay? And why I think that we have got massive trouble ahead. All right, so if we go back to 2018. Now, 2018 was a time when Bitcoin entered into a bear market and it wasn't even macro related. There was no macros to do with why Bitcoin declined in this period. It was largely the end of a crypto cycle, crypto bull cycle, leading into a bear market. Now, let me just show you this, okay? So what happened between the beginning of the beginning of 2018 to the first half of 2018 is we saw Bitcoin go down 70% almost immediately from the top. All right, a very, very similar situation to what we've got now, but I'll show you that in a minute. What happened after that is we had Bitcoin rally up 100%. Rallied up 100%, and that was a bear market rally. Essentially, what we have got going on right now. The reason we've got that going on right now is because the Fed didn't increase the interest rate they maintained the 0.75, and there's not going to be a meeting now till the end of September. As a result of that, it gives some relative blue skies for crypto to do well. So we have these bear market rallies, and I remember this at the time. We then had a 50% rally and another 50% rally after we had the epic all-time high. Now, let me show you this. What then happened from the top of the bear market rally all the way down, so that only showed you part of the story. Okay, so we had numerous bear market rallies. But what happened is that as a result of the best bear market rally, is we actually had a further drop of 75%. A 75% drop to the bottom. So Bitcoin went down 70, up 100, down 70. An epic drop. Now, if we have a look and see where we are today with Bitcoin. All right, so currently, if we chart from the top of the cycle, the all-time high, to where we are, to where we got to as a bottom, that was 75% drop, literally a 5% difference. But you can see the similarities there. Then what we had, or are having right now, is a bear market rally. And that bear market rally, if I can get the measuring thingy to work, is currently 42%. So we are roughly halfway there to being 100%. Now, although the price today, or right now, is 22,970, I do think there is a chance of an increase in this bear market rally, where we could go to around about $30,000. And this is literally because of the resistance. Okay, so the resistance sits at around about 28 to 30,000. So that would take us, so I would say that the likelihood is we could go to around about here, best case scenario, mid 30k. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think that if we break out of this bear flag formation, then people are going to be suckered into thinking that we've broken the trend, we're forming a new trend, and actually things are going to start getting bullish again. All right, which is what could lead to a higher price. Now, should we achieve that higher price, I would say the likelihood is that we're going to hit 30k. Now, if we drop another 70% from that 30k, that would take us to roughly $9,000. If we were to drop another 75%, it would take us to around about 7,500. Now, given where RJ Rajendran, who's the guy that got me into cryptocurrency and has been fantastic at calling, drops and coins and gains in the past, what he said is Bitcoin will be in the 12k range and roughly 7k during the recession and before the next halving. So that would fit in quite nicely with that. So a 75% drop from 30k, which is what happened in the past, would essentially take us down to around about that 7k. Yeah, around about that 7k mark. So that would make sense in a way. Now, I personally think that the bottom is likely to be in between 9 and 10k, like the ultimate bottom. I would start buying between 12 and 14k. Let's now have a look at Ethereum. Okay, because right now everybody is mad about Ethereum. Everybody is thinking that Ethereum is going to go on an absolute tear with the merge coming up in September. So let me show you what happened previously with Ethereum. Okay, so with Ethereum back in 2008, similar story, is it went down 75% initially. So the big drop down was 75%. It had a couple of, like we have now, a couple of bear flag formations. So it had one here, but ultimately went down 75% initially. The big drop was 75. Then we had a bear market rally. That was 125%. All right, now, at this time, I remember, because I was around at this point, and I showed you a tweet in the last video where I was saying, did you buy the bottom? Did you buy the bottom? Because I thought the bottom was in at that point. So 125%, because I was suckered in, and I was buying altcoins, I was buying ICOs and all that kind of thing. And then ultimately what happened is that, look at actually what happened. Look at the story. Like, we thought that was a bad bottom at 75%. Look what happened next, from the top of this rally to the bottom of this rally, was a massive 90% drop further. 90%. Now, Ethereum represents altcoins. Bitcoin represents the market. If Bitcoin is doing well, then so's the market, ultimately. But Ethereum represents the barometer for altcoins. Okay, so if we have a look and see what has happened to Ethereum since the all-time high, which was near $5,000, what happened is that we went down 81%. So 75% in 2018. This time, 81%. Now, I don't personally remember, because it's saying here that Ethereum, you can't see it, but it's saying here that Ethereum hit $880, which I don't think, I didn't see happen. I saw it hit like $1,000, maybe $900, which would actually represent just under 80% drop. But let's just say for this example, 82% it fell. Now, currently, it has really risen. Okay, so it's gone up 105%. So before, it went down 75%, went up 120, and then went down 90. Here, we have got just over 80% initial drop, then up 100, so we are just off that 120. And the reason why is because I believe that Ethereum has got more room to the upside. Okay, it's potentially got room to around about 2,000, 2,500 maybe. Okay, so that would be 18 to 38%. So that would be, so if we go with 18%, that would take us to the similar 120% that Ethereum rose in the 2018 bear market rally. Okay, so from this point, should Ethereum hit that $2,000 mark and therefore represent 120% increase, let's have a look and see what would happen if we fell then 90% from that point. Okay, so 2,000, 90%, that isn't going to happen. I can tell you that is not going to happen. $200. Now, I did previously say that I thought that the bottom for Ethereum would be about $300. Now, with the merge going on, and the merge is going to change everything for Ethereum. It is going to make it a deflationary cryptocurrency. It is going to essentially eradicate the current issuance of new Ethereum tokens almost totally. So I think that deflationary element is going to actually aid Ethereum from keeping its value than from it absolutely dropping to the floor. However, having said that, the same cannot be said for altcoins. So during this bear market rally, the likelihood is that we are going to see altcoins dropping hugely once we hit the peak of this rally. Now, why should there be an end to this rally? Okay, so let me show you this now. So this is the price of oil. Okay, so I am going to show you, first of all, let me show you this. Okay, this was how oil grew between 2007 and the latter part of 2008. A very, very strong rise in oil. Now, if we go back to today's picture, it looks exactly the same. A very strong rise in the price of oil. All right. Now, let me show you what happened after oil prices rose. So oil prices rose. The aim of that in this recession of 2007-2009 was to stop the spending of money, to curb spending. All right. So what happened when that actually did happen is that the market essentially slowed down dramatically, and as a result of that, oil prices absolutely shot down from this point. Okay, so from September, so in kind of late September through to the first quarter of 2009, there was a dramatic drop. Let me just have a look and see how much that drop was. 70%. Now let's go to where we are today. Very, very similar position. Okay, so now we've had a slowdown. It looks like oil prices are going down dramatically. Okay, so what could happen is we could have another steep drop in the oil prices. Probably not that steep. Okay, but we could have a massive drop in oil prices. Okay, a drop's a drop. Okay, now let's have a look at the S&P 500 at the same time. So as I said, it was around about, let's have a look again at the dates because I happened to forget it. So it was around about September 2008 that we had a little rise and then bang, it just had a straight drop down. Okay, so when did the S&P 500 break through the base resistance? It was end of September. End of September, it broke through that resistance. So when oil tanked, see what I did there? When oil plummeted, dumped, so did the S&P 500. It went through that base support and it absolutely shot through the floor. Okay, so it basically copied the price of oil at that time. Now, where we are at the moment, because oil has not dropped dramatically, is that we haven't breached base support. So at the moment, the S&P 500, like Bitcoin, is having a bear market rally. Okay, it's very, very strong at the moment. Okay, so Bitcoin is essentially correlated with the S&P and with other financial markets, to be frank. All right, but we haven't had that big oil drop yet. Okay, now when that oil drop happens, which we can see it's gearing up for. Okay, look, it went down. It breached the support, it breached the base support of the oil price, went down, tried to refind that as resistance, and then it just absolutely sank. All right? So what we've got at the moment is we have breached it. We're at the very, very beginning of the exact same process in the last major recession. Okay, so we breached it. So we're roughly at the beginning of September 2008. So the likelihood is that actually we could be having very soon, we could be having a similar drop. All right, so we've just breached that. Okay, similar to what happened here, and we tried to refind it, and then bang, it absolutely shot down. And when it shot down, the S&P 500 broke through the base support, absolutely crashed through, and had a monumental loss. Okay, and at this present time, the S&P 500 is very, very healthy. But what's needed is for basically the price of oil to shoot down and have another major dump. Okay, just like it had back then. Because the market's slowing down, people aren't buying oil so much, the world's drinking oil less. So that is what's going to lead to a plummeting of oil. All right, because essentially the aim of increasing oil price, the negative effects of increasing oil prices is happening. All right. So there we are. Now, what is explaining today's dump in cryptocurrency? I think that is the dollar price going up. Okay, so the dollar has topped out. It topped out mid last month, and it has dropped since then. So it's in this channel right here, and it seems to be going right between it. Okay, so it could go up and down, up and down. All right. But the fact of the matter is, it's gone up today. One of the reasons why is because of this. Okay, so the US adds 528,000 jobs. So as I said in the last video, okay, employment and earnings for big companies are on the up. Okay, they are not dramatically falling, and this is the element of a recession which is not marrying up with the definition of a recession. So a recession is typically 2 consecutive negative quarters of GDP, including low employment, so bad employment, people being unemployed, unable to find jobs, and essentially in a depression, and companies doing badly from an earnings perspective. But that has not hit yet. So what I think has happened is essentially the dollar is pricing in the damage to come. All right, because what seems to be happening is this is lagging. Okay, so the employment figures and the earnings figures are lagging. These are doing well, despite the fact that we've had 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth GDP. All right, so this is a lagging indicator. What that means is that unemployment has dropped even further, 3.5%, which means it is a problem that's going to come up later, and it is going to have a damaging effect. Because when unemployment goes up, earnings are going to go down, which is going to lead to more unemployment because companies are going to be cutting their costs because they're doing badly, which is going to lead to people losing their jobs, and it's going to create a perpetual cycle, which is going to make the market go down, in my opinion. So I think that today's increase in the Dixie and the decrease in Bitcoin, and not necessarily reflected in other markets, but the decrease that has happened in Bitcoin, I think is the market trying to price in that this is not good news, but not necessarily tremendously bad news. All right, so I don't think it's necessarily causing massive ripples, because at this present time, bad news isn't causing drops, and good news isn't really causing drops. So it's there seems to be very little leeway in the price. But I think that the market has started to price in the fact that employment is up, which is only a bad thing because it's delaying the inevitable. And the inevitable is only going to be a lot more damaging further on down the line. More bullish news. This is something that the crypto market has gone absolutely doolally over. And that is this, which is that Coinbase have partnered up with BlackRock to give BlackRock clients, their wealthy institutional clients, of which there's billions of dollars to be unlocked, or billions to come into cryptocurrency as a result of this partnership, that everybody in the market is seeing this as a game changer, as potentially marking the end of a bear market. Now, this is a very similar news story to this, okay? So I remember back in 2018, and it was 2 or 3 months before the bottom of 2018. The 2018-2020 crypto bear market, that bottom that we hit of $3,000, this news item came out 3 months before, and it was a very similar news item. So ICE, or the backed exchange, so the Intercontinental Exchange, which is a massive exchange in the US, created backed to enable for institutional clients to get into crypto, for crypto to be used in Starbucks, etc., etc. Right? This was a major bullish news story back in 2018. Everybody was saying, the end of the bear market. 6K is the bottom now. We are definitely going to go up. So these stories, I think, are very, very similar. They kind of create a illusion that all of a sudden things are going to reverse. But let me tell you something. That rarely happens, okay? All I think is really going to happen is this is really just showing building and adoption happening in the background, but it is not going to do anything to prevent the damage and the destruction that I believe is coming for the crypto market fundamentally. And I'm sure many of you will probably remember this if you were back around at the time, because so many people were saying it was the end of the bear market as a result of this news, and believe you me, it really wasn't, okay? At the time, people were scared about Wall Street coming in. Now everybody wants Wall Street to come in. It's funny how times change. But ultimately, I think this may give a short-term increase, probably propel the prices, or give substance to propel the prices, which I do think that given this summer break period is actually going to allow for bullish news to bring the prices up of Bitcoin. But I think that the increase of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and cryptos, I think is a good thing. I'm happy to sit in stable coins and wait and see the damage that is done as a result of that. So let me, before I go any further, because I've got more to talk about, let me just say hi to you guys and see what you guys are saying. And make sure I don't miss out on super chats like I did in the last stream. So Lindsay, Severns, Julian, Canna Startup, Patrick, Miswa, Crow8, Jason, Mahanid, good to see you, Mahanid, Mr. In Between, Thomas, M187, H Predator, Jeffrey, CC, Andre, Blaine, JC, AC, Thomas, first to hit the like button. Thank you very much. Zahi, Frenchie, Marchand. Good to see you. Cumblezorb. Interesting names. Wanye West, Matt Hooper, Jan Albarca, Tony Darko, Crypto Press. Right, okay. Let's have a look at the super chats then, because I don't want to lose them, just like I did last time. Donny Huddle, take a deep dive, look at analyze Parsit. I did that recently, okay, and I concluded that it was a pile of shit. But I will look again. NH, if you had 25k to 30k to spend and all your bottom prices were hit in 2023, what would be the projects to buy into to make 500k to 750k in the next bull run? Okay, NH, so all right, so you've got two strategies, okay, that you can take. All right, so let's go to my bear hit list. This is my Bible crypto list. This is what I'm buying. This is the shit I'm buying, all right? So anyway, so there's two ways you can play this, okay? So the two ways you can play it is as follows. You can get involved in high-risk assets, okay? And you can deploy, I mean, 25 to, let me just have a look at that, at the upper end of the scale. So 750,000 divided by 35,000. At the upper end of the scale is 21x, okay? So that is a very reasonable, very, very reasonable gain, all right? And I think pretty much most of these will do it, all right? So what would be the projects to buy and make that amount of money with 30k? Actually, it was 30k, so bear with me. Let me just revise that somewhat. 25x. Yeah, okay. So slightly changes things, but then again, maybe not so much. So Ethereum, I think, is probably the... Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, so there's two ways to play it. You can either invest in a high-risk cryptocurrency, which has got more explosive potential, more gains potential, the potential 50 to 100x, if not 100 to 500x in one cycle. In one cycle. But with that, you carry a shitload of risk. Essentially, that coin could just as easily go 100x to 500x as it can to 0. So you carry with it a lot of risk. Okay, now I'm a big fan of risk in a bull market. In a bear market, I hate risk, okay, because that is where you see all the cryptocurrencies that you made 1000x on all of a sudden go back to that IDO price and just cancel out that whole 1000x. So what you ideally want to do is you want to get involved in strong cryptocurrencies, ones that really negate risk, ones that you can be confident that if it doesn't achieve your 25x in one bull run, it certainly will over the course of time because it's going to last for a long time. And of course, if you marry that with a deflationary element to whatever you invest in, then you've got even better chances of making that 25x plus. So using your actual example, if I had 30k and Ethereum was to go down to $500, okay, so I've shown you how it has gone down to how it could go down to something like $300, which I don't think is going to happen, okay? So I showed you it went down to $180 when I was showing you the example of how Ethereum previously went down 75, up 120, down another 90. That essentially, using those exact calculations almost, you would get Ethereum at 180. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think Ethereum is likely at $500 at best, if I'm honest with you. I would love it if it went down to $300, but I think that the asset is too strong. It has changed its tokenomics from the perspective that it's deflationary and you are not going to be diluting the supply anymore. And if we have a look at the issuance, okay, so currently how it works at the moment is that how new ETH is issued is you get 13,000 ETH a day pre-merge, and then you've got the staking rewards of 1,600 ETH per day pre-merge. Now, after the merge, essentially 1,600 new ETH will remain, but dropping this whole mining rewards new ETH that is minted, okay? So what you're going to get then is you're going to get this 1,600 ETH, but you've got a burn rate of at least 1,600 ETH, so that makes it essentially deflationary. So as a result of that, I think ETH will not drop as hard as it did in the last bull market, regardless of the fact we're now in a macroeconomical picture, and it does signal disaster for the entire market. But having said that, ETH is doing really well. But if you were able to get it for $500, right? If you were able to get it, if you were able to be patient and wait for $500, which would literally take it to only 40% drop from as low as it's gotten so far. So that would actually be a low drop, all right? So from the bottom of where it has been, 40% extra would take it down to around about $500. In which case, I think Ethereum could easily hit 20,000 next bull run. So 20,000 divided by 500 is 40. If you could get Ethereum at $500, that essentially, I would just say put it all in Ethereum. Just put it all in Ethereum, don't care about anything else, put it all in Ethereum. because Ethereum is going to be a super duper asset that's very, very likely to flip Bitcoin over the course of time, because it's basically having 3 halvings in one. Okay, so Bitcoin has had 3 halvings, and Ethereum is essentially going to have those 3 halvings in one event with the Ethereum merge. So it makes it a stronger cryptocurrency moving forward into the future. So I see it as being the number one over the course of time. So as a result of that, if it should go down to 500, I would say put the whole lot in there. Otherwise, diversify, and then you've got a whole range here. So I believe that Solana, Near, ApeCoin, Decentraland, all of these have the potential to do a 20x. All right. But there aren't many that have the deflationary properties. Decentraland has the deflationary properties, and I could easily see that going to around about 40 million market cap, because it is the metaverse, one of the metaverse plays of the entire market. So yeah, so that is what I would say to you. That was what I would say unto you. So I hope that was very helpful for you, NH. And good question, I must say. My Agnes app. Billionaire Mark Cuban invested in Althea. Any thoughts? Also thoughts on Veracity and Casper. Okay, bear with me. I've got quite a few super chats. People saying, can you look at this and can you look at that? So I don't want to spend too long on too many cryptos. Okay, so let's have a look. No, I'll just have a look now. All right, so Althea first of all, which I don't even know what it is. Aleph. The fuck is this? I would just say, celebrities like influencers, the website isn't even working. Celebrities like influencers are sometimes biased in the investments they make. So I wouldn't take him getting into it that big a deal. I can't really look into it because, well, the website isn't working. Veracity I don't really like, but I can see why people do. If people have a belief in that kind of thing, like the market, the ratio is roughly 6-1, I would say. Veracity is not my kind of platform. Okay, esports, AdTech, this really I really couldn't give a stuff about this. I couldn't care whether this does well or not. If this 100x is great to anybody who got in, I couldn't really give a stuff. But what it does seem to have very strong, does seem to have quite strong speculation. 10 for a cryptocurrency under 100 million market cap to have 10 million volume, that's not too bad. Actually, that's not too bad at all. And then Casper. So Casper is not a cryptocurrency. I did a lot of research at the time it came out on CoinList, but I've mostly forgotten it. But I think it was a layer 1, if I remember correctly. Future-proof blockchain, proof of stake. The first proof of stake blockchain built off the Casper C. I don't know what the relevance is of that. Like, who cares? Why does it matter? Oh, okay. So Casper, I remember there was a Casper update for Ethereum like 2 or 3 years ago. So this is obviously meant to mimic Ethereum then, or one of the versions of Ethereum that existed at one point. Enterprise optimized, scalable, future proof. It's obviously like trying to tick that green criteria. Scalability. Yeah, you know what? I haven't got a huge amount of bullishness for this project. Largely because there are many layer 1s that I would rather put my money in. Okay? But it could be good for a speculative bet, like Cadena. And if we have a look in Messari, let's just have a look and see if they have any information on Casper. Because I think that Casper, if I remember correctly, had some incredible VCs. So let's have a look. AU21, they're not good. Arrington, Consensus, That's not the consensus. Arrington, is that it? I thought there was more than that. Okay, so maybe not that great. Yeah. So Woodstock, they're tier 3. Most of these are pretty minor. AU21's tier 2. Yeah, they're not that great, to be honest. Yeah, so my personal opinion is that there are better infrastructures to be bullish on, like Solana, Nearcoin, Elrond, Mina, Cadena, and of course my darling Moonbeam. So yeah, I don't really care that much for it, if I'm honest with you. Donny Hoddle, put your scuba gear on and take a deep dive into BeamSwap. Okay, let's have a quick look at BeamSwap, because I'm aware that this is one of the decentralized exchanges that is being touted as the like pancake swap of Moonbeam. It's got a very low market cap. It looks, the token, the kind of key stats at a high level looks shit. All right, so it don't even have any volume, so I can't really. Let's have a look and see if it's displayed on CoinGecko. Let's have a look at BeamSwap on here. Seriously? Am I looking at the right one? Like 16k trading volume. Like no one gives a rat's ass about this. I've spent 16k today. So if we're talking about a global market, then that's weak AF. DeFi, what the hell? What the hell happened there? Oh, maybe I'll put decline or something. So they've used the branding of Moonbeam essentially. I mean, it doesn't look much of a muchness, to be honest. It just looks pretty meh, if I'm honest. And that's about as much deep diving as I think the thing deserves. There doesn't even look like there's much of a DEX going on. Julian Tapia. Hi, Super. What do you see Stratos achieving in the next bull market, achieving it survives the bear market? Well, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'll be honest with you. You know, as much as I am very keen on Stratos to succeed, and of course Stratos has, an ecosystem in development. You know, if we weren't looking at economic disaster right now, then the likelihood is that Stratos would have already brought out Airwave. But as a result of the economy, they haven't. Stratos is still doing relatively okay. It is at IDO price, I think, for Polkastarter's IDO price, which isn't that bad. A lot of new cryptocurrencies have kind of gone way below their IDO price. So for a layer 1, this is doing quite well. Now, this has had BitBoy in the past, and it's had Joe Parry's in the past, as well as me talking about it. So three very strong, kind of crypto YouTube audience worth of audiences looking at Stratos, and that is what sent it to its $5. Now, should Stratos, the worst I would see for Stratos coming up is I would probably see this going down to around about, who knows, 8 cents, maybe 5 to 8 cents at the absolute. I mean, if we were to have a situation like we had in 2008 with the S&P, and of course crypto wasn't around at that time, so we haven't got any metrics for crypto reflection. But should we have this disastrous drop, which having gone past the baseline, the base support level was a 40% drop, and that is having already fallen how much? That's having already fallen 30%. So a 60 to 70% drop in the stock market equals about 90 to 100 to 130% in the crypto market. So as a result of that, should we get a very similar situation, I'm not necessarily sure we're going to have a recession as bad as that, but I do foresee we're going to break the base support and we're going to have a dramatic drop. Then I foresee that Stratos is going to get absolutely ruined in terms price-wise. Which therefore makes the ability to rise from that point even harder. So difficult to say. I would hope that it would go into the next bull run and achieve something approaching its old all-time high. I think the market's going to be hit so bad that even hitting its old all-time high would be a quite remarkable feat. So if the price was to go to, let's say $5, divide by 5 cents, 100x. You know, it could happen. But the crypto world moves on, you know. In the meantime, there's going to be more layer ones coming out. There's going to be people getting bored of a certain cryptocurrency they've held for a while. So you just have to wait and see. Just have to wait and see, and have faith in Stratos and what they are looking to build as a product, which is essentially the next YouTube, the decentralized Web3 YouTube. And, you know, if we're talking about like Bitcoin being bad for the environment with the mining and everything, then YouTube is actually way, way worse for the environment. Okay, so it would be much better to have a kind of green Web3, non-energy intensive YouTube, and that's something that Stratos can provide. So it's just a bad thing. Bear markets are a bad thing. They essentially can, if a crypto isn't strong enough or backed strong enough, it can essentially totally ruin a crypto. All right, so we just have to wait and see, hope for the best. But thank you for the question, Julian, and also for the contribution as well. Hey, Super, could you look into BitCountry? I'll have a quick look, because I've never heard of it, and the likelihood is a pile of shit. Not meaning to sound pessimistic. There is no BitCountry. No, I'm not going to look there. I'll look on my phone. Last thing I want to do is infest my phone with some scam website. Okay. It's kosher. It's toasted. Right, okay, so co-create your metaverse for your community, blah, 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 blah. Same shit, different day, basically. It's just another metaverse project, it looks like. Let's not talk too soon. Have we got any VCs? Okay. That shut my mouth, didn't it? So we've got Animoca, OKX, L&D. Is this true? I don't know. It just looks a bit same old, same old. I got involved in a lot of cryptocurrencies that had Animoca brands. Didn't stop it from tanking and dying. I got into a number of cryptocurrencies kind of between January and March, which had real top VCs in it, all pretty much this kind of project, and they just tanked. So it's difficult to say. To me, it's too much for a risk. So I don't know. Without having any kind of statistics like here, it's very, very difficult to be able to give any analysis on if it's any good. But thank you very much for the contribution, Michael. That's great, Michael. Please give your opinion on Gala Games. I think that Gala Games is an incredibly strong cryptocurrency, if I'm honest with you. I think that what you're getting with Gala Games is you're getting a development company rather than a single player game. All right. So what you've got with, you know, something like, can't even think of any games. Oh yeah, Axie Infinity or Illuvium. What you've got with them is you have got one game. Okay, if it fails, so Axie Infinity, in my opinion, has failed. I don't know if it's going to come back. It may come back simply because it was like the Bitcoin of play to earn in the last bull market. So it may make a comeback purely on its history and the name and people associate with being the king of play to earn games. But if it fails, which I feel like it has, there's no comeback. There's no real comeback. Because if it does badly, people are burnt, people move on to the next thing. With Gala Games, what you're getting is you're getting a development house. So they are essentially the Epic Games of cryptocurrency. All right, so Epic Games brought out Fortnite. Fortnite is very, very popular. It has been very, very popular in the past. The likelihood is that eventually kids are going to go to the next new thing. And so Fortnite will just die like many popular games have. But if you're investing in Epic Games, then you are hedging yourself. Should a game fail, they've got another game that brings your investment up. And that's why I really like Gala Games. So Gala Games, I think, is a tremendous cryptocurrency. It's got fantastic volume. Like the volume of it is sky high. Like it's basically, it's even better than 2 to 1. It's like 1.9 to 1 ratio, which is insane. It's clearly got great money flow, and it's clearly got, you know, kind of whale buy-in, I would say. Whales are targeting this as the next big thing as far as development houses are concerned. This is the leader of development houses. And considering that it is a mere, it was 4 cents not long ago. It's shot up to 6 cents. So, considering this has been a mere $350 million cryptocurrency, this could easily go into the billions, easily go into 100 times that. I could easily see another 3 zeros, put it that way. So I could easily see it being 421 billion over the course of time. Yeah, easily. And in fact, let's have a look and see what its all-time high was. It was 5 billion. So it's already been 10x where it is now. I think the thing that I would be most worried about is the tokenomics side of it, because I think that most of the rewards go to nodes. So I don't know how inflationary this is. Let me have a look and just see if I can find that out on here. Gala Games is definitely on my bear market hit list. I've already gotten some, but I plan to get way more. So let's see if there's any data on the inflation rate. No, there isn't. Okay, let's have a look and see if there's anything on the Google. I think it's quite, from what I remember, I think it's relatively high. No. Can't really see it. Let me have a look and see if I can drill this down a bit more. Does suffer from significant supply inflation. Yeah, I can't really see the inflation rate. I have to look into it, but that is something that I think it will make it suffer somewhat. But otherwise, I think it's fantastic. So thank you very much for the question. Milan. By the way, peeps, if you could, just keep me online as long as possible. How long have I been online now? 47 minutes. So to keep me online as long as possible, keep that like button being spiked. So let's have a like spike. Let's see if we can get to 300. If we get to 300, I'll stay on another half hour. And I will look at more of your cryptos. Milan. How long do you think we will have time to enter those life-changing entries in Great Alts? In my opinion, I think if we look at the past, let me find it here. If we look at the past, I think that we should have a good few months. So we have a look back in 2018. No, 2018 into 2019. This is kind of like the support area, so that's the resistance area. So it's about 4K, and the bottom was 3.1. But it was 1,000 difference, okay, over how many days? 136 days we were at a bottom before all of a sudden, bang, it shot up. Let's have a look and see 2000 and... Oh, it doesn't go back that far. But typically, bottoms I think this may have been it. Yeah, because it went down to... So this was the second halving, bottom. So again, it was about 100. Factor of 10%. That was nearly a year. Nearly a year that's spent at the bottom, where you could have acquired like $200 Bitcoin, at best $117 Bitcoin. So bottoms, when you reach a meaningful bottom, it should last a few months, okay? And it will be a time of speculation, and people will be like, have we bottomed, have we not? But it should not be an instant thing. I think the only thing that would be an instant thing is the initial wick, which is why you should be prepared with limit orders, or buy orders, essentially. You should have buy orders when things are going bad, and try and scoop it up at a good price. Now, it could wick below your buy order, but being able to actually time and get an exact bottom is, I would say, you've got 100 to 1 chance of doing that. 100 to 1 chance. I would not take those odds. So therefore, what I would do is I would just, I would set a buy order that you felt was a price that's too good to be true. If it hits that and goes below it, maybe acquire more if it's still there. And that is how I would choose to, and you should just have in mind what those targets would be. So if I was to put a buy order, I would put it at 8k, and that would be to catch a wick, and I would have another one sitting above it at 10k. So I would have like, so if I had, let's say I had $30,000 to buy Bitcoin with, I would put probably 50% at, I would probably put 30% at 12, 30%, no I wouldn't. I would put 40% at, yeah, I think I would, just in case it didn't go down to 10. So I'd put 30% at 12, 40% at 10, and then 30% at, at 8 or something like that. That's what I would do for the wick down. That's how I would do it. And for Ethereum, similar. I already have those buy orders in, and it's kind of like, just in case you have a wick down to like 300 or something. So I've got 800, 600, 300. And that is, I would say that's kind of weighted 20, 20, 20, 60. So if it should hit 300, basically it would unlock the majority of the money that I've set aside for Ethereum. But I don't think that's necessarily going to happen now. So I might just adjust that up to 500. But anyway, yeah. But either way, I should think that you will have a lot of time to be able to acquire at the bottom. But you just never know. But it's the wick that's hard to get. But roughly at the bottom, or 10% from the bottom, I would say you've got a while. You should have 3 or 4 months. Because what happens in that period? People are bored, people have exited the market, and people are second guessing the future of cryptocurrency. Probably less so now, but certainly in the past, that's how it was. Let me just put the Bitcoin price visible to you, because we can see it going up. And I do expect short term for Bitcoin to go up. But I'm happy to sit in stables at this point. Do I want to maybe trade and get a little bit more disposable income? Maybe I do. But at the same time, I'm quite happy with the amount of disposable income I've got, with the risk of losing it should the bet not be successful. Anyway, so it's really the wick down that lasts maybe seconds or minutes, but roughly the bottom zone should last for a few months, but purely because people have exited the market, or people are bored, people don't even know, and that kind of thing. Can you have a look at RocketFi? I have a quick look at RocketFi. I'm not really into DeFi. You're not going to get me saying anything good about. Pathetic. It's, look, 3,000 volume. I'm not even going to bother looking. But thank you for the contribution anyway. But if you're investing in this, you're taking a ridiculous risk. What, Jonathan Ball? What are your thoughts on Elrond? So I think that my thoughts on Elrond are well publicized at this point. I think that this is a powerhouse in the making and has the potential to be the next Bitcoin because simply it's got a very, very good name already. It's already well talked about, well invested in, and it's got the store of value characteristics, and therefore the deflation later on down the line. So if in many ways it's better than Bitcoin. This is why I say it's like ETH. It's like ETH in the ETH merge, because it will end up being completely at a standstill in 9 years' time. So it will stop inflating if it even reaches its maximum supply, which is 31 million. So it's most of the way there now. 73% of the way there now. So there's not much more inflation to go before it becomes truly deflationary. And it's a tip-top layer 1 project. You know, like you say with the Mayor app, I think is a very good UI. I agree with you. Elrond also bought Utrust so they could, you know, be part of the whole crypto payment solution down the line. So yeah, I think Elrond's incredibly strong. I said the other day it's a shame I came to it quite late, but then at the same time, you know, to get it at the price it is now, you know, that would have been, well, the price it is now would have been last June, but the price I want to get it at, it would have been the beginning of 2021. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the price I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this to go down to about $20 or less dollars. And I think that would be a brilliant buy at that point, because this has reached $545. So if this was to get down to $20, that'd be a 27x. Which is pretty strong, pretty good. Not bad for something something already that's exploded already. And you know, $20 at the present market cap would take this to, what's that? 4.5, 4.8. No, 480 million, I think, market cap. No, it wouldn't. Hold on. I think I'm talking out my backside. 14 divided by 3, essentially. Oh, it is 4. Yeah, I wasn't talking out my backside. So yeah, so it'd be about $460 million, which I think would be absolute steal. The volume compared to market cap is not that strong, but the price of this has done very well in the last, you know, kind of month since I've been talking about it. And I've been talking about it since it was about $47, and it's never gone really below that. So yeah, so I'm hopeful that one will be able to get this at a good price. So, but I really do love it. Yes. Do you have a shitcoin flip list for this bear market? No, I am not even considering degen shit right now. You know, I told you about it the other day. It probably still isn't on CoinMarketCap, but I told you about Tate Token the other day, and that's doing quite well. Somebody spoke about white Ethereum in my group. Let me see if there's anything about it. Somebody said that Kyle Chase was in it. Kyle Chasse, whatever. So we do white Ethereum. Maybe not. White Ethereum. Okay, maybe not. But anyway, let's have a look at this white Ethereum. But this is another degen play. White Ethereum. Yeah. It doesn't really want to play ball on that. It doesn't really want to play ball. Let me just see if it's on SHT coin. It's probably a Uniswap coin, but let me just have a look. No, it's not there. Let me have a look at Dex Tools quickly. But again, this is another one that people have been. Is it this one? No, it's probably wrapped Ethereum. White. No. So anyway, whatever the case, Oh, was it there? Did it show up? Aha. Is it this one? It may or may not be. Sometimes you can't tell whether it's a scam. 5 million transactions, so it could be that one. Let's have a look at this. What? WFTM? No, that can't be right. Yeah. Okay, we'll cast that aside. But essentially, short answer, no, I don't have one. Because this is, in my opinion, it's a waste to flip. Can you check QuantStamp? Pointless. It's a shit coin. So what do you think is the future of ApeCoin? I think the future of ApeCoin looks very, very exciting. So ApeCoin, look at that. Look at, I mean, at this level, that is fantastic because this is close to, because Elrond is like just a little bit less, a little bit more than half, but the volume's 50 million, and here we've got 416 million. You know, I think that the Bored Apes is seen as a very elite community amongst the rich crypto sector. And so I think that only a lot of the very influential people have gotten into it. So therefore, it's not surprising that it's gotten up to the ilk of Gucci, and that Gucci are adopting it as a method of payment for Gucci items. So yeah, I think that ApeCoin has got a very strong future considering it's very new. I only imagine that this is going to be the coin of the NFT world that has come out of the NFT world and will probably have some utility within the NFT world. So obviously ApeCoin was used for the Bored Ape metaverse sale, and the Bored Apes is it's like a crypto franchise that is likely to just do really well in the history of crypto. You know, similar to CryptoPunks, maybe even better than CryptoPunks. So I imagine that ApeCoin, as a result of that, is only going to kind of increase in terms of its adoption and knowledge and the knowledge base around it. So yeah, I think that ApeCoin is very, very strong, and that's why it's in my bear market hit list, because I think this is definitely one to add to the list. But thank you very much for the question. What do you think of Jasmy? Thank you very much for the 449, Jonathan. What do you think of Jasmy? I must admit I've never looked at it, but it's one of those ones that is on Coinbase, isn't it? Is it on Coinbase? Or was on Coinbase? But either way, it's on Binance. I don't know what it is. Let's have a look at it. Is it something to do with Metaverse? Internet of Things. Is this true? Is this actually what they're... This is the most corporate-looking website I think I've ever seen. It does not look like a crypto website, which may be a good thing. Jasmy. I didn't know what it was. I didn't really know it before. Let's have a look and just see it on CoinGecko. It does seem to have insane volume. Considering it's a under 50 million market cap, the volume's insane. What? This was a $4 coin and it's 1 cent. What the hell? I don't know what's gone on with it, if I'm honest with you. But it looks as if this has been sold to buggery. How long has this been out? Oh god, it's not even been out that long. This has gone down 400x. For a Binance coin, that's pretty terrible. Let me just have a look. So the volume is 16 million on Binance. I don't know. Actually, it's probably more than that with all the combined Binance pairs. It looks very weird. I don't think I would touch it. It looks hot to me. Like hot as in stolen. That kind of hot. Not hot as in sexy. So, yeah. I don't know. But it's gone 400x down. There must be a reason for that. How could ETH be any whiter? Will ETH pump further? I think it will, yeah. I think it will. Like, it's kind of stalled out, but if anything, it should pump harder than Bitcoin is. So we could be looking at 2,000, 2,500 for Ethereum. You know, come the approach to the merge. But September is typically a bad month for markets. From my memory, September crushes markets. So in that respect, the likelihood is that it's kind of between now and the end of September we can have a rally. And that would fit quite nicely in with the ETH merge. Oh, wait a minute, hold on the wrong asset. So yeah, I could see ETH. I can see ETH. Where are the support levels for ETH? 2,000. There's one here, I think, at 248. So yeah, so I think 2 to 2,500 is where we could see some price action going for Ethereum in the short term, and it all depends on the dollar. So the dollar, like I said, has had a bit of a rally, but it'd be interesting to see what happens from here. Like, one could say there's somewhat of a head and shoulders forming. So what we could see, worst case, is we could see something of like, it goes down below that neckline and just form. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I do think that come the end of September, we could be seeing a lot more bearishness. But I do foresee that 2023 is going to be the worst. Carlos, apparently a super chat. Let me have a look. What do you think of the Richard Hart ecosystem when Pulse Chain launches with Hex, Pulse, and Pulse X? You see, Richard Hart has essentially gotten where he has gotten to through outrage marketing. All right, so Richard Hart basically trolls people on Twitter and on YouTube, and he gets a lot of attention to himself and and by extension, his ecosystem. Now, Hex is one ecosystem, the singular ecosystem one can even invest in right now. So currently, this gets all the money flow, of which I think the money flow isn't that great considering the market cap, but you know, it's a very strong community. Like, it's a very emotionally invested community, and in some ways that's a good thing. So I think that with Pulse Chain, it's going to open up a completely different type of cryptocurrency from what I have experienced before. So Pulse Chain is going to essentially be fully minted right out the gate, and then it's going to be deflationary from day one. So they're going to be burning, Pulse Chain tokens via Pulse X, and so by rights, it should grow in token price, but the market cap will be very high considering. So it's difficult to say, and also when it launches will be another pivotal thing. And Richard looks like he likes bringing things out at the bottom of markets. I think the reason why is so he can say, my coin 4,000x or 40,000x or whatever against the price. And then he'll show you a ton of charts of, look at what Bitcoin's done, look at what Ethereum's done, and with Pulse Chain you could have sold on a double, sold on a double, sold on a double, etc., etc. So, I think that's what he's probably going to do. But I think he'll be quite alone. He seems to alienate a lot of the crypto community, the wider whale community. They know of him, but I don't think they like him because he trolls people. He trolls Michael Saylor. He trolls Charles Hoskinson. He trolls everybody, from what I have seen. He trolls Celsius bad. So he doesn't make institutional friends, but everybody knows him. So I don't imagine him getting a lot of support like he hasn't so far. I don't see it going on Coinbase, Binance, or anything like that. And I think that is why he has created PulseX, to essentially give him a liquidity tool for the Pulse and Hex community. So it's a good and bad thing, but I think that just purely on the hype and the size of the Hexagon and Pulse community, it should survive at least. And surviving gives the potential of growth and good gains, etc. So it's certainly a standout, unique type of cryptocurrency that Richard Hart brings out. And I think that, I've invested in both of them, PulseX and Pulse Chain. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as a result. Joe Bars, thank you very much for the $10. Are you still high on Moonbeam's future price prediction? You don't seem to be. Yeah, I am. Of course I am. I mean, at this present time, most of the elite assets are what people are speculating on. I think that Moonbeam, because obviously I've bought Moonbeam via the Convergence public and private offering of 32.5 cents, but it was a meager amount. But still, it's essentially already paid for itself, double. So, so at this present time, Moonbeam is kind of sitting under the radar. But I think I've already kind of done this, is that I've explained why I think that Moonbeam has enormous potential for the future. And now it's just purely a case of them surviving and thriving. Now, Polkadot, I think, has the potential to be one of the top cryptocurrencies over time. Polkadot, I could easily see top 5 projects. So at the moment, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I could see. I mean, Polkadot is quite well placed, to be fair. But I think that Polkadot is a very advanced system and a very advanced ecosystem, considering how long it's actually been out, because it's only been out 2 years. Now, as a result of that, because of how I see Polkadot thriving, I think Moonbeam sitting as its kind of mascot app. I think Moonbeam is really the best product out of Polkadot. So as a result of that, I see that as thriving the most out of the Polkadot ecosystem. There's nothing at this present time that is close to Moonbeam from the Polkadot ecosystem. The only real competitor to Polkadot is Kusama at this point, but then I would say it's Moonbeam. And then Moonriver. They're all 4 are very strong, but the gains are going to be made on Moonbeam and Moonriver, in my opinion. So over the course of time, I think it'll do very well. Will Shiba 100x? I've got to say that despite my very almost elitist stance on key cryptocurrencies I'm looking to invest in, that Shiba is very strong. Incredibly strong. That volume isn't that great, considering, but I think Shiba's ecosystem has matured nicely. They've got the NFTs, the metaverse. They've got DEX. They've got DeFi. They've got their tokens. Their tokens is they've got 3 tokens. They've got games coming out, actual playable games. So future looks bright. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Shiba are constantly going to be going to be enabling burning mechanisms. So I foresee that the inflation is not going to be very high for Shiba, and because they've got their own blockchain, which I don't know if it's actually live yet. Let's have a look at the Shibarium. Scheduled beta is scheduled for end of quarter 3 2022. So it could run a lot faster. I foresee that Shiba could be like Doge. Like Doge is being used, or is planned to be used, for Twitter, for Tesla, for etc. as a payment system for these big companies. And Shiba has that same fun element And I foresee that this also has a good chance of being a kind of micropayments currency over time, particularly with the burning mechanisms of it, keeps it relatively stable. This has not suffered that much during this bear market. Yes, I mean, it has gone down, significantly from its all-time high, but it's still a very strong price in my opinion. My investment in it has not gone down since I've invested in it. It's still 3x up from when I invested in it. So that says to me this is very strong. So I love Shiba. Hi Suppo from June Bug Smith. I put a small amount into a project called Vayot a few weeks ago, and it 3x'd at the time until now. Thoughts on it? I don't know it, but let me have a look at it. The volume isn't great, but actually it's not far off Stratos, to be fair, so I can't really... Let me have a look and see if there's better info here. 1 million market cap. So actually, the trade volume is roughly where it should be. So let's have a look. Let's have a look and see how it's actually performed. 3x? Oh, a few weeks back. So this has been around since March. It was $3.21. 1 cent? God, this is as bad as Jasmine. This is pretty much dead. Right, let's have a look and see what it is. Developed in cooperation with IBM. Blockchain-based AI assistance. Sounds pointless. Sounds pointless having a token for it. I don't get it. So, personally speaking, the likelihood is that you probably 3x'd because you got in at a low. But it doesn't... To me, it looks like a shit investment. But thank you very much, June. Ezine, Superman, what is your thoughts on iMove? I do not know it. So let me have a check. So I think I have heard about this. So I think it's like... is it Move to Earn? Yeah, it had quite a violent spike. 1 cent. 1 cent it was. So this has gone up 4x. It's gone up 4x from its all-time low. 4 cents. Okay. So it's only come down moderately since. This has been on quite a run. I think this is a degen play. Like, I don't necessarily see this as having much of a future. Like, it just seems like it's just trying to kind of like muscle in on the whole move to earn narrative, which I don't blame people for. But what actually makes this any better? Solo mode, marathon mode, mode for disabled people. iMove is the first inclusive fitness app for people of all abilities that you own cryptocurrency, yada yada yada. Motivating the world user community to exercise more and more passive income based on health data. How is that to do with metaverse? That's not metaverse at all. Metaverse is putting on VR glasses, which doesn't seem to be what they've defined it as. Partnerships with professional athletes. It looks like a shitcoin. So it looks like a pure degen play. I don't know enough about it to be able to tell you where this is going. But it's a pure speculative play. Could do well. The volume's pretty strong. How's Stepan doing? I haven't looked. Last I saw it was about $1.04. 93 cents. It's gone down a bit. 214. So there's definitely still money flow into this trend. And the money flow's strong. It's 50% roughly. So yeah, I mean, so as a result of that, it's not a bad speculative play. Like, you could do a degen play, which is completely unrelated to any crypto out there. So yeah, it's probably okay, but it's already got up quite a lot. So you've missed out on a lot of the move. So you either wait for a retracement or, I don't know, if you want to chase it. But I wouldn't recommend it. Can Mana 50x from bottom price in next bull run? So Mana would be... Oops. So help if I spelled Twitter correctly. That looks like Philip. Oh no, I won't say that. Let me put Moonbeam 25 cents. That might bring it up. Yeah, it has. So Decentraland 15 to 20 cents. Yeah, for sure. So let's have a let's just see. No, I'll use this one. Divided by 0.15, that would be 6.86. So if we were, so 6.87, remember that, people, 6.87, okay, just in case I need to ask you in a minute. Where's Decentraland? So let's get this market cap. Go back here. Divided by 6.87. Am I right? And let's see what that brings the market cap to. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if it went down to that, then yeah, easy. That's 13 billion. 13 billion. If it was to go down to my target, which I actually don't think is, I don't think it's going to happen now, because at the time I made this, I think that Decentraland was about 79 to 83 cents or something. So a 90% drop from here, I think would be very tough actually for something that's got the money flow of Decentraland. Like, look at that, it's pretty strong. So I would probably adjust this down to about 30 cents, in which case it would still be 500,000, and I think you'd make a decent, 500 million. So I think you'd make a 50x even from that. Yeah. Right, okay, I think that's it, unless there's any more super chats, which I don't think there is. Oh, putting $500 on Marshall. Wish me luck. Good luck. Oh, Milan, you'd already asked that 50x. Have you looked at Take Token? Yeah, I'm the one that brought it out. Well, I didn't release it, but I'm the one that kind of... But it's now 2 million market cap. Yeah, Andrew Tate has no knowledge of this token, by the way. You know, I've looked in their Telegram group and they're like, let's spam Andrew Tate's, you know, live stream or whatever, or his video with Tate token and stuff. That's their marketing. Like, if that's a business that deserves $2 million, all power to it. But it started off as a 61,000 market cap, so if it's over 2 million, so if I just do that, it's really gone up 32x. That's pretty insane. That's fantastic. In fact, it's done better than I expect Ethereum to do. So maybe I should call these degen coins more often. But like I said, you know, they're very, very risky, and they will die quite quickly unless they can maintain some form of community. And I know what communities are like in crypto. They are very fickle. They're 1 minute they're happy, the next minute they will ditch you for something else. Should have a move to earn for truck drivers. Good one, Donny. I agree with you. In fact, they should have a move to earn for crypto YouTubers, because I really don't get off my ass a lot, if I'm honest with you. Right, okay, so there is another section of this video that I meant to talk to you about, and that was Ethereum. Okay, so I've partly spoken about it. Now, yesterday... So yesterday I asked this question. I said, what will be the #1 cryptocurrency in 2025 by market cap? My money is on Ethereum. So, as with what you... look at that. 6,200 votes. So I think the reason why is because Cardano, the Cardano community, essentially shared this ad nauseum. And if you look at the something else, basically it's all Cardano, pretty much. Some other layer ones, but mainly Cardano. So the question is can Cardano flip Ethereum? Right? You've seen it. The biggest part of my portfolio is Cardano. Cardano comprises, I don't know what percent these days, but Cardano comprises a huge segment of my portfolio because I got into it so early. You know, I got into it at 1.9 cents, 2 cents, 3 cents, 7 cents, and bought over 1 million of it, like 1 million actual Cardano tokens. Some of which I sold, but the majority of which I hold. So it would I didn't make that investment thinking I was investing in a shitcoin. I did think I was investing in the future number one. And there is potential for Cardano to one day usurp Ethereum. Okay, because Cardano ultimately is designed to be faster, and it has not got anywhere near the level of institutional adoption in terms of instruments like ETFs and inclusion on top exchanges. You know, for years, Bitcoin and Ethereum have been the main cryptocurrencies you can buy on most fiat on-ramps like PayPal, etc. And you don't have Cardano on there. So there's less money going into it, therefore the ability for it to usurp Ethereum, the ability to do so is not going to happen anytime soon. All right. So Cardano, over the course of time, as they develop, as they get faster, as their apps work more flawlessly, as they mature as an ecosystem, which at this present time, the Cardano ecosystem is sparse. It's not very good. They've got like Gero Wallet, Card Wallet, Sunday Swap, Astro Swap, a bunch of cryptos that have not really made a name. Coty is another one. That's pretty decent. It's made a decent name. Don't know if it's decent coin. And Ardana, that's another good one. So these cryptocurrencies have not necessarily forged a reputation. So Polkadot has created Moonbeam. Cardano, you couldn't say has created anything, really. It's Cardano that is... Cardano is holding up the entire brand. There's nothing supporting it. The highway needs to be built in order for it to have value. And at this present time, most of its value is speculative. The second thing is that Cardano is not deflationary, whereas Ethereum's going to be. So its ability to increase its token price is gonna have a threefold kind of price action or money velocity than Cardano. Cardano has way more tokens. They have got it's an inflation rate of 2 to 5. I think 5% was what it was back in August 2021. It's gone down since then. But it's not going to be inflationary until 2030 and beyond, which means that Ethereum's going to have a whole 15, no, not 15, but at least 8-year head start on it as a deflationary currency. So I don't see Cardano flipping it anytime soon. However, I do see Cardano making great strides from where it has gotten to. And I do maintain this is a cryptocurrency that at this point should have already hit $12. Obviously hasn't. It got stopped out by the macro trend that obviously took over crypto in November. Should Bitcoin have hit its 100k and potentially 150k, because it would just had a blow off top. It would have just had a magnet sitting at 150k should 100k have been breached. In which case, Cardano would have hit $12, but it got stopped out. But I think that Cardano is a very strong cryptocurrency, but I don't see it usurping Ethereum anytime soon. But I do see it happening in the future. But when it's got more deflationary mechanisms, when it's actually got an ecosystem full of strong names. the Ethereum ecosystem, you had Aave and Axie Infinity, all the Decentraland, all the tops, all the leaders of every single subcategory of cryptocurrency, so DeFi, NFTs, Metaverse, Play to Earn, meme coins, maybe not meme coins, supply chain, media, decentralized social media, all of the leaders are in Ethereum. So Cardano is not even close to that, so there's no chance. But I do see it happening in the future. And I am never going to sell most of my Cardano. Anyway, so I hope that answers what has been intimated on this. But I think that Ethereum, as I said, is basically having a triple halvening in one event. So it's having what Bitcoin has had over the last 13 years in one day, once the merge happens. In which case, it's essentially going to accelerate at an incredible speed once the adoption comes in. And of course, when Bitcoin undoubtedly has a need to spot ETF, then so will Ethereum. Which means that Ethereum, having the deflationary token issuance, as opposed to Bitcoin, which has an inflationary, even though it's very low inflationary, I see Ethereum really catching up with Bitcoin. And I do see that where we kind of stand right now with Ethereum is that it's kind of Bitcoin in 2017. In 2017, Bitcoin was $1,700. In around about May 2017, Bitcoin was $1,700. Today, Bitcoin's been 23,000 and it has at best been 60,000. And I think Ethereum is going to be very similar. Yeah, I think it's going to be very similar. I would not be surprised of this being a $10 trillion coin. Now, if it was 10 trillion, let's just do that based on current maths. Okay, so, flipping out. So 10,000 million billion trillion divided by its current market cap, 48,000 if it's a 10 trillion cryptocurrency. But being deflationary, it probably skews the maths somewhat. So it doesn't need to be 10 trillion to be... Wait a minute. Let me just... 1,700 times 46. 78,000. Okay, I was wrong there. 48. No, 48. 48. 48.12. 81,000. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. But I think that if... Put it this way. If you're able to get Ethereum at under... If you're able to get Ethereum at $500, buy it, keep it, don't sell it. That's what I would say. Mappy81. How long have I been online? Probably ages. 1 hour 32. And I've only got 327 likes. I'll make this the last video unless we can get up to 400 likes, which I doubt we will. But if we get up to 400 likes, I will carry on for another 15 minutes. I think you missed me by accident. What do you think of Uno Re-issuance token? Shit, if I'm honest with you. I thought it was shit at the time, and I still think it's shit. What do you think about VRA from K-Bon? I think I've answered that already, which is it's not my type of vision. But it's, they are, I would say, considered the leaders of this esports kind of platform, video platform. It's got a cult following. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. But, yeah, it's just not my kind of thing. But it seems to be very, very strong. I've met the team. They came to see me when I was in London. And it was very young back then. That was in 2018 when I met them. And they definitely got a very strong... No, I wouldn't say very strong, but strong-ish. I'd say reasonably strong volume to market cap, considering what they are and that they're a DApp and their singular narrative. Any more questions? If not, I think that's it, people. So I think that was a good good sesh. And I think that we covered a lot of cryptocurrencies and a lot of your suggestions. And I hope that it's kind of, I hope it's kind of made it quite clear, kind of where your attention should be. As far as in bull markets, your money is best placed into high-risk cryptocurrencies because you have got that added benefit that the market that has no conscience. Okay, it's just like everybody gets excited over nothing. And when a cryptocurrency starts from a position of 0, then investing at that position and seeing it through its growth, you can easily get 20, 30, 50x. In this market, unless you're trading, there's a likelihood that investing in small, risky degen plays is a short-term play. And as long as you're happy to accept that, it will not survive probably a bigger downturn, which is what we're anticipating. That it's not a good investment at all. It's a good trade maybe, but not a good investment. So as far as I'm concerned, where your attention should lie is definitely in a strong list of cryptocurrencies where the cryptocurrencies are elite, but the prices are stupidly low and too good to be true low for these assets. If you get into cryptocurrencies like the ones in this list at the low prices that I am looking for, then the likelihood is that you are going to make multiple 100x's over the course of time, because these are de-risked cryptocurrencies. Most of these are de-risked, not UFO, to an extent not Moon River, but most of the others, and particularly the upper end of this list, they are de-risked, which means that you literally just have to hodl them and forget. I think that what actually sets back most cryptocurrency investors is that they look day to day. Is that you can't get away from the bug that is cryptocurrency, and you invest, and you're invested in emotionally. So once you invest in a coin, you're always looking at the market because it's got that very instant gratification nature about it. So you are always looking at the prices, and you can't just leave it. And that is the downside for most of us. So when we've got these periods, you don't think necessarily about holding. You think about selling at the top, buying at the bottom. So you're always active. And yet, the people who have done the best in cryptocurrency are the ones that bought years ago and forgot about it, or the ones that bought years ago and they're busy doing other things and they didn't get too invested into the market and try to trade the market and try to trade speculation. And then they come back to it years later and it's appreciated 100x. That is the best way to make money in cryptocurrencies, just to invest and forget about it. Like people invest in stocks, just invest and forget about it. Most people don't sell at the top and buy at the bottom. Most retail investors don't with stocks. And so they almost shouldn't with cryptos. So I would say that moving forward, the best strategy would be to, if we get a very stupendous low because the all global markets crash and crypto as a result crashes with it, and badly. And I do foresee that because I don't think we know the extent of how bad this recession will be, because we're being lied to and being fed false information. And we won't find out until after the event how bad it really was during this whole period. So when and if and when these prices go stupidly low, you invest and you just walk away. You just walk away. I don't want that to happen because obviously you're all subscribers of mine, and if you all walk away, you won't watch me. But that would be the best thing for you to do. Be invest and walk away and come back to it in 10 years. This list, I am telling you, will deliver insane returns. Easily 100 to a 500x. Anyway, people, I hope that you love this episode. I've certainly loved bringing it to you. You have been awesome. And I've been the Suppoman. It is lights out, all out.